And right now we're looking at partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies and 43 degrees in Asheville. And seeing some snow, but it's not from Mother Nature right now. This is at Catalucci Lester Flooring Skycam Network. We'll get some snow across the region from Mother Nature as we head into tomorrow. We'll time that out for you and talk about who could see the most snow coming up after the break. Stay with us.
Your News 13 Skywatch weather.
Here's what you need to know. I would prepare now. If you're not a fan of traveling in winter weather, go ahead and get those errands done this afternoon, because tomorrow afternoon is looking a little dicey across western North Carolina and into the upstate. So yes, indeed, Friday we are forecasting snow. That's tomorrow across much of the region as we head into the weekend too. So it's going to be very cold, especially with that wind. It's going to feel very chilly. Wind chills in the teens and 20s expected. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, looking ahead here, we have a high impact for the cold weather, moderate impact for wind and snow, and a low level for the rain expected. Here's a look at that rain here on the map. This is showing the big picture, and it's showing this front mostly stationary now as we head into the system, move from the Gulf, our activity, and eventually snow activity into western North Carolina as we head into tonight into tomorrow. And then we see something else happen on Saturday. We get a break from the rain, from the snow, from the sleet, but then we see some more as we head into early Sunday morning, more of that northwest snow event, that typical direction that we see that snow come from. That's just going to be a light dusting as we head into Sunday morning in our northern communities. So two different things going on here, but the big story Friday night. So here's the timeline. It's a low risk for that snow overnight tonight, but it's a greater risk as we head into the early morning hours, even before daybreak tomorrow. So if you work maybe an early morning shift, use caution as you could see that rain transition to snowfall even while you're driving. And then into the afternoon hours, that's going to be the great be south of I-5, something that's a little bit different than maybe what you've typically seen in the past with snowstorms here in western North Carolina. 1 to 2 inches is still what we are considering here for areas in our southwestern mountains, including southern Buncombe County, even down into the foot. Some higher elevations could pick up a little bit more, like 2 to 4 inches in areas in pink on your screen. And even down into the upstate, we could see some accumulating snow. At this point, we're still going with a trace to an inch of snow. Snow is probably not going to be that light, fluffy. It's going to be a wet, heavier snow, so that will impact the snowfall total where you live. So just keep that in mind, and especially will depend on when it makes that transition from rain over to snow will also impact the snowfall totals. But really, the bottom line here is you can expect some sort of winter weather, and that check your car, your tire pressure, make sure you have some gas thing. Outside this afternoon, once again, really nice, looking at dry streets in Silva on our Lester Flooring Skycam. It's 43 degrees right now, so yeah, unseasonably cool, but still, it is going to be above freezing throughout the day today. It's tonight that we drop below degrees in Asheville and continuing to stay in the 40s throughout the day. Now, as we look ahead past actually this weekend, we have a slight warmth and another chance for winter weather Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, Holly.
Wow. Just wow.
'Tis the season.
We'll just keep.
California native is showing off her unique collection.
Tony Conway says she started collecting nativity sets over 5 decades ago, and now she has more than 800.
I tell everyone no more nativities, and I'm not going to buy any more unless they are very unique, but I still added 50 this year.
No more. Her nativity sets include cowboys, pets, and characters from the Peanuts comic. Her favorite
home in Modesto for people to come in and see the collection for themselves.
Drone. This is video from the mountains around Cherokee. Welcome back. We're all talking about the snow that may be coming. So Ingrid,
cloud cover, that's it that we're watching, but the rain has stayed to our south so far today. We are to prepare for this winter weather. Tomorrow we are forecasting snowfall and then highs staying in the 30s as we head into the weekend. Cold conditions, that's going to be a big impact for all of us across the area. Futurecast shows that this is from the south, so that's where our moves into our viewing area. We have that risk for the snow throughout the day tomorrow. and then we'll see the rain and snow taper off on Friday night into early Saturday morning. While we head into Saturday night, we could see some additional snowfall coming from the northwest as that cold air is still in place. So here's the timeline. It's like a low risk for some snowfall at this point through the overnight hours. I think it will probably hold off until early, at least tomorrow morning, but we could start to see that transition from rain to snow as we head into the late afternoon and noon, and then throughout the day we have a greater risk falling from the sky. So accumulations in the region, the greatest accumulations likely actually south, the most likely scenario. Of course, this isn't in stone, but this is what we're thinking is going to be the most likely situation. Once again, that's tonight, throughout the day tomorrow into early Saturday. Areas in turquoise, 1 to 2 inches of accumulating snow. We could see a bit more accumulating snow in those higher elevations, and areas in pink on your screen, 2 to 4 inches. But all the way down into the northern portion of the upstate, once again, that's north of 85, could see some snow trace to 1 inch of snow. This is not going to be a light, fluffy snow that really stacked the snowfall totals. Nonetheless, it could be slick as you head out tomorrow. So if you, once again, don't like to drive in this sort of weather, then go ahead and do all of these. Slow down, accelerate, decelerate slowly, increase the distance pressure, make sure you have some gas in your car, check the radiator, that sort of thing. And if you live way up on a mountain and you do have to travel, if you're going to be out for a long time, because this really is the first snowfall for a lot of you this season. Looking outside, we're seeing some thin clouds, but still some clouds. Great Smoky Mountains National, downtown Black Mountain. 43 degrees right now in Asheville, so definitely above freeze. It feels like 40 degrees outside. Looking ahead now, staying in the upper 30s, low 40s if you're lucky as we head into Saturday. Overnight lows very cold, 20s across. Day as we turn mild for just a minute, turns colder again Tuesday, and wind. A 9-year-old in Pennsylvania is on a mission.
It's a mission to spread joy this holiday season. He's collecting toys so every child has presents under the tree on Christmas morning.
Nick Matoni reports.
Help me help others.
Colby Jeffrey has been helping other kids at Christmas time for nearly half his life.
It's gotten better every year.
The last 3 years, he has raised over 2,500 toys.
A big box truck full.
This 9-year-old from Washington County is on a
Don't have toys, and I'm just trying to help them out.
And it's always been about the kids and helping kids have presents on Christmas because they deserve to get something from their parents on Christmas. Every child deserves something.
Colby learned from his mother the rewarding feeling of giving rather than receiving, so he asked her if they could start their own toy drive for Toys for Tots.
No on that because it's what good people do. He's a good person. And we want him to think of others and be selfless.
Oh, he's
awesome.
going to do very well with that mission. People are going to step up and help him.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's take a final look at weather because weather pattern is changing, guys. Winter weather timeline tonight, Friday into early Saturday, we have that chance for snow showers and then a few light snow showers on Saturday night. So looking ahead here.
For News 13 Skywatch weather.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're getting up early and thinking, oh, it didn't snow overnight. Okay, well, let's think again here. It just hasn't snowed yet. We are forecasting accumulating snow to begin around daybreak across much of the region. You can see clear conditions right now out in Silva, Lester Flooring Skycam Network. And I don't know if there's even brine on some of these roadways, so that could mean a slick start as the snow begins to fall across the region. National Weather Service just about 10 minutes ago put this update out. This is a winter storm warning. This is in effect right now until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. It does include areas in pink on your screen. That includes Buncombe County, the mountains of McDowell, Rutherford, Polk, Henderson County, Transylvania, Haywood, Jackson, Macon counties, and northeast Georgia. The remainder of the viewing area is now under a winter weather advisory. That's also different from what we saw just about 10 minutes ago. They've now put these northern communities in that advisory, which means accumulating snow possible even in those northern zones. Futurecast radar showing 8 o'clock this morning. It's going to take a little bit of time here, a couple of hours in some cases, before that snow actually makes it down to the ground. But the rain snow line is something important to note here as we go through the time lapse. Here's the snow beginning to fill in by late morning, throughout noontime, throughout the day. You can expect snow on again, off again. It's not going to be snow all day long, but it will be a good amount of snow, and it could go down into parts of the upstate throughout this evening. We'll continue to see the snow even through tonight. There's 10 p.m. Into tomorrow, it starts to taper off. We see some clearing as we head into Saturday. And then there's that northwest snow event coming in from the north. We could see a return flow and some of those higher elevations seeing a bit more snow coverage in those northern communities. So I wanted to show you what we have for our in-house model. And I do think that these numbers could be upped just a little bit, but you get the idea as to where we'll see the most snow. It's going to be in areas in pink on your screen where we will see inches of snow fall as we head into the next 24 hours. This is our other model, our RPM run, and it is upping the totals as well. As we head into late this afternoon, we could see already a couple of inches in some locations, and then continuing to see that snow fall through the overnight hours. So it's going to be a snow day, plan for that. But look at right now, it's only 36 degrees. We have to wait for the upper layers of the atmosphere to cool so that snow can make it all the way down to the ground. This is the waiting period. 13-mile-per-hour wind in Asheville currently. It feels a little bit colder at 28 degrees. Bundle up anywhere you live. Here's your 7-day forecast. Snow into early tomorrow and then again into early Sunday. And then we have another chance for snow Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Back over to you. So many embarrassing things on live TV. I think we're good.
True.
Let's take a look at snow chances, guys, because we are looking at accumulations greatest in areas still south of I-40 and north of I-85. We're looking at accumulating snowfall to begin this morning. The greatest threat for the heaviest snow to fall throughout the day, and this is going to be kind of a wet snow that sticks to everything, including the roads, will happen late morning throughout the afternoon and into the early overnight hours, and then we'll start to see that snow taper off into tomorrow, and those advisories will then expire. And the same thing goes for the foothills in the upstate. Right now, it's 36, so it's not freezing at the surface. We're waiting for all of the air to continue to cool. That's likely happening with evaporational cooling. As the precipitation above continues to fall, it's falling, it's cooling the air, and then we start to see the precipitation above that fall as snow. So that's how that's working. That's what we're waiting for. Already seeing some reports of some flurries across the region, but a lot more snow on the way. Back to you.
Senator Al Franken.
We are tracking that approaching snowfall. We're live in our mobile track unit this morning. We'll have a look at the roads in Transylvania County and some tips for you coming up live.
The mountains, News 13's Karen Zakalak and Lauren Brigman are standing by with the very latest on-road conditions.
But first, let's get right to meteorologist Ingrid Allstaedt in the Weather Center. Ingrid, time out this snow for us.
All right, let's update this because some changes overnight. We haven't seen really much snow at all fall to the ground. Do not let your guard down. The snow is coming, and it will mean difficult driving conditions across western North Carolina. This is in effect right now. It's a winter storm warning. It does include Buncombe County, northern McDowell Mountains, Rutherford and Polk County, into Henderson, Haywood, Transylvania, Jackson, Macon, and northeast Georgia. So accumulating snow as we head throughout late morning and all day, on again, off again, we'll see these snow showers develop. So that will mean snowy conditions not only in those warning spots, but also in the advisory areas. This has also been extended overnight and now including these northern mountains and all of the foothill locations. So also the potential for accumulating snow, just not as much snow in this advisory area. That's the distinction between the two. So if it hasn't already, at least around daybreak, we're anticipating a lot of the snow to begin across the region, increasing in some snow rates as we head late morning into the noon hour and into this afternoon and evening. Also the chance for some heavy snow to fall. We'll talk much more about those snowfall totals coming up in just a few minutes, but now back to you.
Now, there are a few delays and closings already in the county. Lauren, how are the roads looking where you are?
Well, Holly, Katie, so far everything is dry, but we of course are anticipating that snow to begin falling any minute now. I want to show you the roads. Right now, we are driving toward downtown Brevard as we speak. Everything's looking pretty good, but this is the time to make those last-minute preparations. So coming up in just about 15 minutes, I'll have some tips, those things you need to check before you leave the house this morning as you're making your way to work or to school. Of course, we are starting to get some of those school delays, even closings into our newsroom, so we'll keep you updated on that. I know you all just mentioned that as well. You can go to WLOS.com to see those, but so far everything's looking okay, but definitely bundle up because it's cold outside. And again, in about 15 minutes, I'll have some tips, some of those things you need to check before you leave the house this morning. We are live in Transylvania County. Lauren Brigman, News 13.
Already started.
Deal. Your News 13 Skywatch weather.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm looking here through the time lapse, waiting for some snow to fall, and it looks like maybe the last frame there is a little bit of moisture hitting the camera lens in Silva Luster Flooring Skycam Network. As I said earlier, don't let your guard down. If you're waking up this morning thinking, oh, it didn't really snow, didn't do anything overnight. Well, yes, but a lot of snow is headed our way. In fact, National Weather Service has upped totals expected. Winter storm warning out until 7 a.m. Saturday morning. That includes us here in Buncombe County and all these areas in pink on your screen. Higher elevations, of course, will see more, especially if you live above 35 to 5,000 feet. But even down below 2,000 feet, we're going to see this accumulating snow blanket western North Carolina. Winter weather advisory has also been expanded. We did think that the northern mountains were really going to miss out on this snow, but there is still the chance for accumulations, just not as much as the areas in pink, if that makes sense. Here's a look at the Futurecast model. As we head towards daybreak, it's going to become more widespread with that cold air in place and that snow falling. Still a lot of rain in South Carolina, but watch as we head towards mid-morning and into the afternoon. That snow line could drop just enough that it doesn't hit some of the upstate, but western North Carolina you can see covered up in snow. There's 3 o'clock this afternoon into the second half of the day. On again, off again snow showers. So into the overnight, Friday night tonight, and into tomorrow morning, seeing that snow, but then the snow clears out Saturday by around 8 a.m. and then we see sunshine, but then another burst of snow in those northern communities with a northwest flow event. That's why we had that advisory out. Okay, so areas in white in your screen, I've adjusted this some, about 1/2 inch to 2 inches. That might seem like a big range, but the reason I have that big range is because we're not sure exactly where that rain snow line may be and how that could impact the upstate, but it will account for the chance that we could see some accumulations in those northern mountains. Now, areas in turquoise, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Areas in 4 to 6 in the pink, so it does mean the highest elevations could see 4 to 6 inches of snow. That's not going to be everywhere. That's going to be probably in isolated areas, but that's more than what we initially had thought. I want to show you another model here, and it does indicate that we have to wait until late morning, but even by noontime, we could see some snow blanketing western North Carolina, continuing to see that snow come down as we go throughout the day. Right now, we've dropped another degree since our last half hour, so we're currently at 35 degrees, so we're continuing to see temperatures drop. And we hope it turns a little bit colder before all of the moisture leaves us, of course. And that timeline is really going to depend on how much of that snow accumulates. It's going to be a wet snow that will blanket things. It will mean driving impacts. Wind right now at 8 miles per hour, so it feels cold. Bundle up, 29 degrees in Asheville. Here's your 7-day forecast. And that snow tapers off early tomorrow. And then into tomorrow afternoon, late day, into the overnight, another light burst of snow into early Sunday. It's then into middle of next week that we see another chance for winter precipitation. Katie?
We are starting to see just a little bit of precipitation here in Brevard. We're live in our mobile track unit this morning. We'll have a look at conditions here in Transylvania County and some tips for you just after the break.
You're watching News.
Click on school closings under the weather tab. We are monitoring this for you. Things are changing minute by minute right now.
Yeah, our live team coverage continues now as we prepare for some wintry weather. News 13's Lauren Brigman has been driving around all morning checking on road conditions. But first, let's check in with Ingrid here in the Weather Center. And Ingrid, how are things out there right now?
Okay, so right now we're looking at the live radar, and it's looping here the last several hours. And what I want to show you is it looks like the light blue over western North Carolina. That snow is finally starting to make it down to the surface, but this is picking up on those cold cloud tops with the snow in the upper layers of the atmosphere. Hasn't quite gotten all the way down to the surface yet, but you can see kind of that rain snow line where it's still going to be rain in the upstate, but of course temperatures, as we continue to see them drop, that will be snow here in Asheville. Areas like Asheville still at 35 degrees. 32 though in Burnsville and Newland, and higher elevations, especially areas west of Asheville, even towards Brevard, around that freezing mark. And that's what we're going to continue to see is the cooling of the lower layers. And then as that precipitation falls, then it will fall as snow, likely still going to be a wet snow. Notice the upstate still in the 40s right now. So at this point, this is not going to be a threat for winter weather in those spots at this time. It's going to take some more time for those temperatures to drop, and that might not even happen around that I-85 corridor. So we're still looking at areas in the northern upstate into western North Carolina for that snow to continue to fall and to accumulate. So what I want to know is, what does it look like right now? Let's head over to Lauren Brigman, who has been driving around western North Carolina. And you haven't seen a lot of snow, but have you seen any, Lauren?
We have seen just a little bit of precipitation. My photographer swears it's snow falling. Now, nothing right at the moment, but I have to tell you, about 10 minutes ago, we did see just some slight precipitation on our windshield. We are in downtown Brevard right now, some beautiful Christmas lights. Of course, we are seeing people out on the road, so we know a lot of people have to go to work in this. So I have some winter driving tips for you from AAA. This is just some last minute things to check before you head out on the roads. Remember, never warm up your vehicle in an enclosed area like a garage. It's just not safe because of those fumes. Make sure your tires are properly inflated before you hit the roads. Also, keep your gas tank at least half full to avoid gas line freeze up. So I know it's chilly outside, but you may want to get some fuel this morning if you are running low. If possible, avoid using your parking brake in the cold, rainy, snowy weather. And don't use cruise control when you're driving on a slippery surface. It can make things really tricky, and of course, buckle up wherever you go. So far, everything is dry here in the Brevard area of Transylvania County. We are seeing just some slight precipitation, though, at times. So, of course, things changing very quickly, and we'll update you every few minutes right here from our mobile track unit. We're live in Brevard. Lauren Brigman, News 13.
We are live in Asheville, where a very light snow has just started to fall within the last couple of minutes. We'll have an update coming up.
We are live in Transylvania County in our mobile track unit. We are starting to see some light snow falling. We'll have the latest update coming up.
And how much accumulation we can expect. Let's head right over to Ingrid in the Weather Center. Ingrid, time this out for us.
Okay, so we're expecting difficult driving conditions. That's what you need to know. That's going to be the takeaway here. So don't let your guard down. Even if it's not snowing yet at your house, or if it's just light snow, we're expecting inches of snow to fall in areas on your screen. The winter storm warning now in effect until 7 a.m. Saturday. So this is where I'm expecting the most snow to fall. That does include us here in Buncombe County. Of course, it still depends on your elevation. Higher elevations will see more, but this is the area here that we're most concerned about. McDowell, Rutherford, Polk Mountains, Henderson, Haywood, Transylvania, Jackson, all of Jackson County, Macon, Northeast Georgia, under that winter storm warning. Less snow likely, but still accumulating snow possible in winter weather advisory areas. That does include all these areas on your screen. So the entire viewing area is now either under an advisory or a warning. So snow beginning out there by daybreak. You can expect it to pick up with that snow rate, especially around late morning to noontime. The potential for some heavier snow at times throughout the day this afternoon and into this evening and even into the overnight hours. I'll talk much more about how much snow we're expecting to see fall and a second round of snowfall when that happens coming up in just a few minutes. But now back over to you.
All right, this just in, Asheville City schools have just closed. Our live team coverage continues now with a look at the roads across the mountain.
News 13's Karen Zakalak joins us live from Asheville. And Karen, is it snowing where you are? We know they just canceled schools here in Asheville City.
It just started snowing probably about 5 minutes ago. Right now, just some very light flurries, but it is starting to snow here in the Asheville area. We're live here at the DOT yard and pretty quiet here right now, but obviously will be much busier throughout the day. It's very cold and very windy as well. The wind really seeming to pick up here in the last 30 minutes or so. As for the road conditions, as we were driving up this morning, no issues yet. But again, that snow is now falling, so we will see some more treacherous conditions throughout the day on the roadways. We want to see what's going on in your neighborhood, though. So if you have any pictures, if it's snowing where you are, be sure to send those in to us so we can see what's happening all across the mountains. Let's go now to Lauren Brigman. She's live in the mobile track. Lauren?
Hey, good morning. We are live in our mobile track unit, and within just the past few minutes, we have started to see some light snowfall here in the Brevard area of Transylvania County. I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see the roads. You can probably see just a little bit of it in our headlights there, but it's not, of course, laying just yet, but we are starting to see that light snowfall here. I've also been in touch with the superintendent of Transylvania County Schools, Jeff McDarris, and he tells me that he's getting reports of snowfall in the western parts of the county, so kind of near that Jackson, Transylvania County line. But he also tells me that Transylvania County Schools will be on a virtual day schedule today, so there will be no regular school here in Transylvania County. And of course, he wants everyone just to be safe. So again, we are starting to see that light snowfall here in the Brevard area of Transylvania, but we're going to make our way toward the western part of the county where we are getting those reports of snow falling there as well. So we're going to check that out. We'll be live again in just a few minutes from our mobile track unit. For now, we're live in Brevard. Lauren Brigman, News 13.
They find her car.
Your News 13 Skywatch weather.
Look behind me if you have a second to look at your television. We've got the rain falling, the snow falling, and it looks very wet. This was expected, so we're expecting a very wet snow that's going to stick to everything, and that could impact our snowfall totals throughout the day. But the bottom line here is we're seeing the precipitation fall, and it is a very wet snow. This may look a little extreme to you, but what this is doing is picking up on the snow in the higher levels of the atmosphere, and it is dropping down now finally to the surface in a light snow form. You can see that rain-snow line right here, pretty much by the state line. So just the northern fringe of the upstate seeing that mix or that light snow right now, and all of northeast Georgia in that range there for snow to develop. And we're talking accumulating snow, and this is the change from overnight. National Weather Service now has us under this winter storm warning, which means there is a greater chance for accumulating snow until 7 a.m. tomorrow. Buncombe County is under that warning. All areas on your screen in that pink. It does include Henderson, Transylvania, Haywood, Jackson, Macon counties in northeast Georgia. This is another update. The remainder of our viewing area also under winter weather advisory. This also means the potential for accumulating snow, just not as much snow as areas that saw that pink. So that includes our northern mountains. As we head closer to 8 a.m., continuing to see this precipitation fill in. There's lunchtime today throughout 3 p.m. Even through your evening commute, we'll see some wet conditions on the roadways. And then tonight, temperatures well below freezing. So whatever is falling will be snow, and that could mean a little bit further down into the upstate. As we head into Saturday throughout the day, we clear out. We're going to see sunshine. Here's that second round I've been hinting at in those northern communities, another burst of snowfall. That's late Saturday into early Sunday, and it's going to be very cold across the region as well. So I've updated the snowfall map for you. 1/2 inch to 2 inches in areas in white. That's a big range because areas in the upstate might stay below freezing, so it might take some time for it to even see any snow. With the exception of these northern communities in white, they'll see that higher end range. Now, areas in turquoise, that includes Buncombe County, we're looking at 2 to 4 inches. Higher elevations, areas in pink, especially isolated areas, could see 4 to 6 inches of snow. So this is going to be a snow day. It's going to be a wet snow, and it's going to impact roadways across the region. I want to show you another model here. And as we go through time, once again, western North Carolina is going to be the main concern. There's lunchtime, seeing higher elevations with a bit more areas in blue in terms of that accumulation. It's still actually above freezing right now in Asheville, so that's some good news because as it hits the ground, it's likely going to melt. As it's falling through the sky, it is indeed snow, but some areas really close to the freezing mark, if not there already, including those northern communities and our southwestern mountains and really our western communities in general at freezing right now. Looking ahead beyond this weekend, I want to talk to you quickly about Tuesday and Wednesday, another chance for snow.
And your time right now, 5:44. Right now, as Ingrid just mentioned, a winter storm warning is in effect for most of western North Carolina. And you can see it right here. This is a live look at our Biltmore Park camera, looking at I-26 at that Long Shoals Road exit, and a lot of snow falling out there. The grass is covered. Adriana Mendez will have another look at traffic starting at 6 a.m. Be careful out there.
We are live in Asheville where the snow is falling. DOT crews are hitting the roads right now as well. We'll have an update on road conditions coming up.
As winter weather moves into our area, Karen Zakalak will give us an update on the roads in just a moment. But first, let's check in with Ingrid in the Weather Center here this morning. And Ingrid, how's it looking out there?
Okay, we're seeing some of that fluffy snow that you saw from Texas. It's going to be that low ratio, very wet snow that you can compact pretty easily. That's the type of snow that we're seeing fall, and you can see it. This is actually Mother Nature's snow here. This is at Cataloochee, way above 4,000 feet, Lester Flooring Skycam Network. And this radar is looking so active, but it is just very light snow falling across western North Carolina. That will continue to blanket the region as we go throughout the day, and it will stack up as well. So areas in pink, those higher elevation locations will see the most, that 4 to 6 range. 2 to 4 inches potentially in areas including Buncombe County, and elsewhere it will be much lighter in terms of that accumulation. So this is just the beginning. Let's get a live look right now with Karen Zakalak, who has been out and about here in Asheville. Some changes since we first saw you earlier this morning, Karen.
Ingrid, you're absolutely right. The snow was really picked up in the last 5 or 10 minutes. You can see it's much heavier right now. It is that big wet snowflakes that are falling right now. I'm going to step out of the way so my photographer can zoom in, get a better look for you there. You can see it is pretty heavy snow falling right now. Again, just picking up in the last 10 minutes or so. We're here at the DOT Salt Yard in Asheville. We've seen a lot of trucks moving in the last couple of minutes here. Lots of crews coming in, loading up, getting ready to go out and treat those roadways. So far, we haven't seen the snow sticking on the ground or the roads here in the Asheville area, but of course that snow is expected to continue throughout the morning, so that is a big concern this morning. Those road conditions will be treacherous. Make sure that you use extra time. Make sure that you're really cautious as you head out the door this morning, because as you can see, it is snowing here in the Asheville area. For now, reporting live in Asheville, Karen Zakalak, News 13. Back to you.
Fuel, see what they did there? For even more excellence.
Good luck.
We are live in Asheville where the snow is falling. DOT crews are loading up with salt, getting ready to treat those roadways. We'll have the latest on the conditions coming up.
Monitoring all the weather conditions, News 13's Karen Zakalak, Lauren Brigman, and Adriana Mendez have a check on traffic and the roads. But first, meteorologist Ingrid Allstaedt has the latest on the forecast. Ingrid, it's here.
Yeah, it is here. It's pretty impressive when you take one look at your screen and see this radar. Western North Carolina covered up with snow right now, falling all the way to the surface. But the good news is, in Asheville at least, we're still above freezing, so that will continue to change as we head throughout the morning as well as temperatures continue to drop. And we're looking at a mess on those roads, especially because this winter storm warning is now in effect. This includes us here in Buncombe County. All these areas on your screen, we're expecting the highest amount of snow to fall. That includes Haywood, Transylvania, Jackson, Macon, Henderson County as well. The remainder of our viewing area also going to see some snow, just not as much, but still it will settle on those roadways. Winter weather advisory out until 7 a.m. Saturday morning. So it's going to be an all-day event here. Temperatures have just dropped down again in Asheville, now only a degree above freezing. So at this point, things are going to get pretty slick out there. We'll talk much more about how much snow is expected to fall where you live in just a few.
Seeing out there, earlier we saw some snowflakes.
It is snowing here in the Asheville area. It's been pretty steady for nearly an hour now, that snowfall. I'm going to step out of the way. You can see it's very, very busy here at the DOT Salt Yard in Asheville. Counted about a dozen trucks here. They're all lined up here, circling around the building, waiting to get filled up with salt so they can then go treat these roadways. So they're taking this very seriously here, as you can see. You can see there right now another truck getting ready to get a load of salt there to then go treat those roadways for you to make sure that they're as safe as they can possibly be as you head out this morning. Again, the snow has been falling for nearly an hour now. I just checked. The roads aren't really slick right now. It's still just a pretty light snow falling at this hour. But again, that snow is expected to continue throughout the morning. So be very careful as you head out. The snow will continue again, and those roads will get slicker and slicker throughout the morning hours. So again, snow falling here in the Asheville area. Be very careful as you head out on those roads throughout the morning. Reporting in Asheville, Karen Zakalak, News 13. Back to you.
You're watching News 13 this. Now, your News 13 Skywatch weather.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the scene across much of western North Carolina. As we went through the last couple of hours, that's where the change took place, where we went from dry streets to now covered in some wet snow. It's very wet at this point. Temperature is just hovering above that freezing mark. So we're looking at that rain to continue to transition to snow where we're at this rain snow line, but all across western North Carolina, you can see plenty of blue on the map. So that indicates the snow falling to the ground at this point. 33 in Asheville. So when it does hit the ground, it's probably going to melt at this point, but continuing to see temperatures drop down throughout the morning and stay cold throughout the day. We'll continue to see that snow fall and continue to pile up as well. 32 right now in Bryson City and Burnsville, and you can see still in the 40s in the upstate, so still all rain in areas like Greenville and Spartanburg. It's just the northern portion of the upstate that could see that mix here in the next little bit. Winter storm warning is out right now, and it does include us here in Buncombe County. This is a change from yesterday. You're just joining us this morning. So the National Weather Service has issued this because they are thinking higher snow totals than what initially expected. That does include also Henderson County, Haywood, Transylvania, Jackson, and Macon County. Another change this morning. This is more widespread. This winter weather advisory now includes our northern mountains and also our southern mountains, including Polk County and Rutherford and up towards McDowell and Burke. Here's the Futurecast model, and it is showing plenty of snow not only this morning, but here's noontime. As we go throughout 3 o'clock, throughout the day, we'll have on again, off again rain showers in the upstate, but it's going to be those snow showers in western North Carolina again through tonight. So your Friday night will be impacted. Here's 10 p.m. into early tomorrow. Then we get a break. As we head throughout the day tomorrow, we'll see some sunshine and then a few light snow showers in those northern communities. Higher elevations favored as we head into Saturday night and early Sunday morning. Here's the updated snow map, and we've had to up these totals a bit. Areas in pink, higher elevations favored for the most snow, of course. We're looking at 4 to 6 inches in those locations. Areas in turquoise, this does include Transylvania County, areas like Buncombe County, and areas east and also west, including Macon, Swain, and Graham. We're looking at 2 to 4 inches. Now elsewhere in the light white color, 1/2 inch to 2 inch. You might think that's a big range, but the reason I have that is because we'll get that accumulating snow in these zones and less snow further south due to that rain snow line. When I'm talking about rain snow, is where is that transition happening? It's likely going to be north of I-85. As we head into the weekend, as I mentioned, that slight chance for snow late day Saturday, early Sunday. We have a nice day on Monday. Looking ahead into Tuesday and Wednesday, another chance for winter weather as temperatures stay very cold in the 30s next week. So once again, that snow throughout the day today, it's going to impact the...
We are live in our mobile track unit this morning in Transylvania County. We're in the Rosman area right now, and we are seeing some light snowfall. We'll have a live report coming up in minutes.
We're monitoring your weather and traffic every 10 minutes. And News 13's Lauren Brigman is live right now in Transylvania County in our mobile track. And Lauren, what are you seeing out there right now?
Well, Katie, we are starting to see the snow fall here. We're in the Rosman area of Transylvania. I'm going to switch the camera around to show you the street lights here, and you can really see those flakes coming down as you look up toward the light. It's not sticking to the roads just yet, but we're going to take off now here. Old Rosman Highway is the vicinity of where we are here near Rosman High School, and of course schools here in Transylvania County. No regular school. They're having a virtual day scheduled today. Of course, I've been in touch with the superintendent, and he says they've received reports of snow falling in the western parts of Transylvania County, so near the Jackson County line. So we made our way from Brevard to Rosman, and we are seeing the snow start to pick up just within the last 10 minutes or so. So not causing any issues on the roads, but just a driving tip from AAA. We've been checking in with those travel experts as well, and they say the normal following distance of 3 to 4 seconds should be increased to 8 to 10 seconds in snow. So just something to keep in mind as you are getting to work this morning. Remember to give yourselves a few extra minutes. This is a look in the Rosman area of Transylvania County. You can see those flakes coming down, and we'll have another live report here in Transylvania County coming up in just a few minutes. We're live in Rosman. Lauren Brigman, News 13.
Thank you, Lauren. So yeah, we've established it is snowing out there. The question is how much snow is going to fall by the time we reach Saturday morning. Here's a look at our snowfall potential map, and I've increased these totals now. We're looking at 2 to 4 inches in areas in turquoise. That does include Buncombe County, parts of Henderson County, parts of Transylvania, Haywood, Swain, Jackson, Macon, and Clay counties. And areas in higher elevations in pink, we could see as much as 4 to 6 inches, especially above 3,500 feet. So that's going to be the biggest concern, as of course the roadways. And as we go throughout the morning, temperatures continuing to drop. We're now right around that freezing mark in Asheville. It's a very wet snow, and it's sticking to everything. And the wind, it's gusting as well at 13 miles per hour, so it's chilly out there. It feels like 24 degrees. Right now, let's get a closer look on the roads with Adriana Mendez.
Good morning. Monitoring the weather conditions, News 13's Karen Zakalak, Lauren Brigman, and Adriana Mendez have a check on traffic in the roads. But first, meteorologist Ingrid Allstaedt has the latest on the forecast. Ingrid, it's here.
It is here, and you can see that radar behind me. It is covered in blue. Western North Carolina is seeing that snowfall at the moment. This is what changed while you were sleeping. We are now under a winter storm warning until 7 o'clock Saturday morning. That means difficult driving conditions expected throughout the day today in Buncombe County, with inches of snow potentially falling. And Haywood County, Jackson, Macon, Transylvania also under that winter storm warning. Another change overnight. We've now extended this winter weather advisory to all these areas in our viewing area. That includes the upstate and our northern mountains. So everyone watching right now is either under a wet winter weather advisory or warning. You can expect that snow to continue to fall today, and it will eventually stick to the ground. Right now, though, temperatures are at 33 degrees, so it is falling through the sky as snow as it hits the pavement. It is melting in most locations, but those grassy surfaces, your windshield, that sort of thing, where those areas that get colder first, seeing that stack up first as well. I'll talk more about how much that snow will stack up coming up my full forecast in just a few minutes. Right now, let's get a much closer.
How's it looking out there?
Well, the snow continues to fall. We're here in East Asheville. You can see it's pretty steady. Been falling for more than an hour now this morning. I'm going to step away so we can show you the DOT salt yard here. This is in East Asheville. The trucks have been lining up all morning long, waiting to get loaded up with salt. You can see it there, then head out and prepare those roads for you. Make sure they're as safe as they can possibly be. You can see the snow is falling pretty heavily right now. It's been off and on, a little bit lighter, just flurries, and then a little bit heavier at times over the past hour or so. It is just now starting to stick just a little bit on the grass here. You can see a couple of white patches here in the grassy area, but I also want to talk about the roads because I know that's a big concern for folks as they head out this morning. And you can see the snow is not sticking to the roadways yet, but it is getting just a little bit slick here. Obviously very wet as the snow continues to fall, and it is pretty wet snow that's falling right now, so you want to use a lot of caution as you head out this morning. You want to make sure to give yourself extra time and be really safe as you head out this morning, because this snow is expected to continue throughout the day. Reporting live in Asheville, Karen Zakalak, News 13. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Karen.
News 13 Skywatch weather.
If you're a snow lover, happy Friday. The first snow of the season for many. This is a live picture right now of Main Street in downtown Hendersonville. And that's the case across much of the region. Wet roadways out there, low visibility right now in Silva and pretty much everywhere. Lester Flooring Skycam Network, you can see very active on the radar. You can see where that rain is still in the upstate, but it transitions to snow right there at the state line and now covering up the entirety of our viewing area. We're right above freezing, very close to it across much of the region, but temperatures continuing to cool, and that cold air continues to move further south as well, so that chance for snow will continue to move into the foothills and down into the northern portion of the upstate as we see those temperatures continuing to cool, and they're going to stay cool in the low 30s all day long. So although the snow falling on the ground right now may be melting, we are anticipating the temperatures once again to continue to stay around freezing. So we'll watch as that snow begins to stack up. That's why we have this winter storm warning out. This goes through all day today into early tomorrow morning. It includes Buncombe, Henderson, the mountains of McDowell, Rutherford, and Polk, and then areas west, Haywood, Transylvania, Jackson, and Macon counties. The remainder of the viewing area under this winter weather advisory. This is also a change from last night, where we could see accumulations even in these northern mountains like Madison, Yancey, and Mitchell counties, and areas like Swain, Graham, Cherokee, and down into the foothills. That does all the way go down to the upstate as well. So just a heads up, accumulating snow possible everywhere in our viewing area today. Let's time this out for you as we go throughout mid-morning. That snow rate continues to pick up through lunchtime, snowing on and again, off again throughout the entire day and into some portions of the upstate, but still between I-40 and I-85, still thinking that's where the heaviest snow is going to fall. We could see some breaks in it throughout the day, but we'll still see that chance for snow tonight into early tomorrow morning. Then we see it clearing out, some sunshine actually behind that, and then we'll see a northwest flow, so a burst of snow. That's going to be Saturday night. There's 8 p.m. as we go throughout the night. Really just in those northern elevation locations, that's where we're going to see that snow Saturday night, Sunday. So what does this amount to? We're looking at several inches of snow. Now, this isn't, of course, a definite, especially when you're seeing such wet snow. But nonetheless, we're going to see most of the snow, the heaviest amounts, 4 to 6 inches in areas in pink on your screen. Buncombe County could also see 2 to 4 inches, with isolated areas, elevation dependent, could see a bit more than that. Areas in white on your screen, a ½ an inch to 2 inches. The closer to the 2-inch side is going to be in those northern mountains, and then on the lower end in areas like the upstate. But you can see we are expecting that snow to continue to pile up through tomorrow morning. It's going to be very messy on area roadways across the region. Also, that 37, we already hit that high temperature today, continuing to stay in the low 30s throughout the day. Tonight, it's going to get pretty icy as temperatures drop below freezing into Saturday morning. So if you have any Saturday morning plans, be very, very careful out there. Cold through Sunday with slick spots continuing when you've got inches of snow that fall on the ground. Monday, that's our good day. That's going to be the 50s, but then we drop back down to the 30s. Tuesday and Wednesday, another chance for winter precipitation. It's going to turn very cold as well, a low 19 on Wednesday morning. Let's get a much closer look.
Monitoring the weather conditions, News 13's Karen Zakalak, Lauren Brigman, and Adriana Mendez have a check on traffic and the roads. But first, meteorologist Ingrid Allstaedt has the latest on the forecast.
Yeah, that snow is coming down all across western North Carolina. You can see that right there behind me on this radar and satellite imagery, picking up that snow. And it is indeed falling to the ground, and it will indeed stack up. And we're seeing inches potentially by the time this thing is said and done. Let's take a look at the snowfall potential map. Areas in turquoise, that encompasses a lot of our viewing area where we have a range from 2 to 4 inches possible, 4 to 6 inches of snow possible in those higher elevations in pink. So that's going to be the biggest concern in those spots. We're under a winter weather warning in Buncombe County as well. So this continues until 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. Temperatures continuing to drop this morning, now at freezing in Asheville. So a lot of the roadways may be clear at this time, but we're going to continue to stay cold throughout the day, and that's where we're going to see that concern. We'll take a much closer look on the roads right now with Adriana Mendez.
Hey, good morning, Adriana. We are live in our mobile track unit here in Transylvania County. We've made our way from Brevard into the western part of the county and the Rosman area as well. Now we're back toward Brevard. I want to show you one of the side roads, and we're starting to see the roads get pretty wet as that snow continues to fall. We started seeing it really pick up within the past 30 minutes or so. Those first reports here in Transylvania came in from the western part near the Jackson line, and so we're not seeing it actually lay in the grassy areas, but we are seeing it on some cars as we're driving around this morning. Again, roads are wet, and as Ingrid has been telling you all morning, it's just going to pick up throughout the morning. So now is the time to get ready for it as you're making your way to work this morning. Just keep that in mind that it will likely look a lot different by the time you get off this afternoon. Now, as we're passing through this neighborhood, I am seeing some of it actually laying in the grass. So it is starting to fall. We're passing some cars here. I'm seeing it on the windshields as well. So it's definitely picking up here in Transylvania County. We will be live all through Good Morning America. We're going to make our way into Buncombe County as well. So we'll continue to track the conditions and have these live reports through 9 a.m. and again at noon. We're live in Transylvania County. Lauren Brigman, News 13.
We continue our team coverage now with a check on the conditions in Asheville.
News 13's Karen Zakalak joins us live. And Karen, how are things looking there?
Holly and Katie, the snow is falling heavier and heavier here in the Asheville area. You can see those big wet flakes falling right now. We're here in East Asheville at the DOT salt yard. The crews have been coming in all morning long to fill up with salt, then head out and treat those roadways for you to make sure they're just as safe as they can possibly be. It's been very busy here all throughout the morning. Now, the snow has started to stick on the ground here. You can see just a light dusting here in this grassy area, so it is starting to stick to the ground. I want to go ahead and show you the road as well, since that's a big concern this morning. It's not yet coating the road here, but it is getting pretty slick, so be really careful. Use a lot of extra caution as you head out this morning. For now, reporting live in Asheville, Karen Zakalak, News 13. Back to you.
Well, the snow this morning wasn't the only excitement this week.
We also had some funny moments with Jay and technology, and we try our hand at a viral trend.
Take a look at this week's Morning Moments. Texting is now 25 years old.
I just love to be in touch with everybody all the time.
I have texted you so many times and there's just no response.
Right?
I didn't get them. Lamborghini has unveiled what it says will be the world's fastest SUV.
I would drive it, though.
I got behind you this morning. You were already going pretty fast. I can only imagine
I go
with
the
that.
speed limit. That's the difference. It seems fast to you.
I don't want you two sharing anything with me this morning. You got the whooping flu, right?
The hooping flu.
Isn't that what it is?
Sure, Dr.
Okay,
J. Whatever you say.
They met playing Words with Friends.
Sometimes people can be really nice on those games, and sometimes not so much.
I've never played.
You would not be. You would not be one of them.
You would be the nice person.
You would be in the not so much category.
There would be a reunion with like a long lost friend story with Jay.
Take a look. A Texas cheerleader is going viral for nailing the invisible box challenge.
I was not a cheerleader, and I'm not going to be able to do this, but I'm going to try.
Pat the box. Oh, it's a high box.
Yeah, you better have a lower box. Here's my little box.
You've been practicing, don't lie.
Here's my box, right here.
That is not your box.
Jay, nice and low, good.
Very low box.
Good. It's good.
Very low box.
That was good.
Oh, Jay! That was actually pretty good.
I'm proud of Jay. He did pretty good on that one.
Who was the winner? I still want to know.
Y'all were hopping. Those were hops, guys.
So we all cheated. Is what
The one
you're
person
saying.
who didn't do it,
I know,
says
I could have done it.
and nobody won.
I didn't want to show you guys up.
Oh, sure.
So, you know.
Hey guys, obviously we've been talking about this all morning long. A lot of snow. Winter storm warning is still out right now, and an advisory for the remaining counties. We'll continue to track this. A lot more to tell you about in terms of how much more snow is going to fall. We'll do that throughout the morning for you.
And you'll continue to update the roads.
Yeah, we will. We'll keep you updated, but just take it slow and easy out there.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Santa and Mrs. Claus paid a special visit to Mission Hospital today to spread some Christmas cheer.
Each year, all of the child patients receive a visit from Santa. Today, the duo popped by to see children in the Cancer Center and Pediatric Intensive Care Unit. Some patients were lucky enough to get a longer visit with the Claus couple.
My mom. They were talking like what did I like, what did I like to do in Christmas.
All good things. Mrs. Claus also helped pass out coins during the visit to let all the kids know they are on the nice list.
And for children like Carly, the visit from Santa lifted their spirits. Of course, the hope is that these children will, of course, be out of the hospital and be able to say that he's been nice. I asked her if she had one that says he's been naughty, because he might need one of those too.
He might need a of the week it is.
Exactly.
A blockbuster deal creating inside. It's cold, but it's not terrible.
It's not actually. We're right now at 50 degrees at the UNCA, at the WLOS studio. It's here in South Asheville, a little bit different than the airport reading sometimes, different by about 2 degrees right now. The wind is a bit cooler. You see the tops of the trees moving around. Lester Flooring Skycam Network now takes us up to Cataloochee Ski Resort. You can see that the snow still on the mountaintops, way up that high, and it's still pretty chilly up there, 40 degrees. But down in Silva, a lot of sunshine, a nice afternoon taking shape right now. But yes, indeed, it's still a little bit Friday night. So we're looking ahead here because I want to show you the changes with our temperature trend. Looking in the middle 20s still on Friday night. Maybe you have some holiday plans. You're going to go see the winter lights. Go to the Biltmore Estate, something like that. Make sure the kids are bundled up. Still below freezing on Saturday night, but looking better by Sunday night. The exception is you'll have to have that rain jacket because we'll have that rain chance in the forecast. Now we're looking at high temperatures expected here into Friday. It's going to be low 40s, so it's going to be a bit of a cool down tomorrow, back up to 50 degrees by Saturday, so a nice weekend. Let's track this next storm system. As we head into tomorrow, we're looking at dry conditions, just a few passing clouds. Friday night, clear skies, a lot of sunshine expected on Saturday as well. And then we start to see the clouds build in on Sunday. That's when we see that threat for some showers. Now, at this point, it's looking like it will come the second half of Sunday. That's important because Sunday morning will likely be below freezing. At this point, we're not forecasting winter precipitation. 16 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago, so milder conditions across the French Broad River Valley. Right now, temperatures at 48, as I mentioned, at the airport. We've got 46 in Burnsville, 50s now in Morganton and Forest City, and middle to low 50s in areas in green on your screen. There's that wind per hour also into Hendersonville. Makes it feel just a little bit cooler. 43 degrees in Buncombe County and also into Hendersonville. Here's a look at your 7-day below half of Sunday. And also notice a nice trend with our temperatures staying in the upper 50s both Monday and Tuesday. A bit of a cool down as we head into Wednesday, staying in the upper 40s. Back over to you.
Today, the Federal Communications Commission is set to vote on net neutrality. John Lawrence explains.
Road bumps on the
Well, the Biltmore Estate is shining extra bright this holiday season with new light displays on the grounds as part of Christmas at Biltmore. You can see the estate decked out with Christmas trees, lights, and ornaments.
The front lawn boasts a beautiful 55-foot tree along with illuminated Fraser fir in the banquet hall. The staff members even have a tradition of their own when it comes to decorating that tree.
One of the team members from the engineering services department hides an actual light bulb inside the big banquet hall Christmas tree, and it is situated in a position where, you know, a child.
Ah, that was a tip.
It certainly was. More than 100,000 Christmas lights have been added to the Antler Hill Village area this season. Santa and Christmas carolers also pay guests a visit there.
Christmas at Biltmore runs through January 7th. You're taking credit for this.
I am. Some help existed in that tree, and today everyone's been asking about it.
I didn't know.
So many people have been to Biltmore, and none of you knew that it was there. I could never find it. Don't get me wrong. Now, Lauren actually has tweeted out a picture of it if you want a tip on where to find it if you go.
All right. Here's a tip on maybe how you should dress today. We're looking a little bit cooler, 42. It's going to be clean, looking pretty good with a high around 50 degrees, a 50% chance for just rain showers late day Sunday, a few showers on Monday and Tuesday as well. And by then, temperatures could be close to 60 degrees.
I'm going swimming today.
Is it in a hot tub?
It's at the Y. It's the final day of swim class.
Heated.
Have a great day.